One of my friends recently called me and asked, "Hey, tell me, how do I not react when I'm getting provoked?" A very good question indeed. So I thought, why not make a video and share my thoughts on that? My friend was obviously talking from a professional context, from his experience in his office, and this could apply to even our personal relationships. It could be from a personal point of view as well. So, the first thing that I would want to do is this I have learned over the years from my experience. Whenever I get stuck in a situation like this, I always tend to put myself in the other person's shoes because I do understand that there are always two sides to a coin and there are always multiple perspectives when individuals are involved. My perspective could be true to me, but it doesn't mean that the other person will have the same perspective. He or she could have a totally different perspective or understanding of the situation from me, and it also depends on the context, and the context could be different from different individuals' perspectives, right? So when I put myself in their shoes and I wonder if I were in that person's shoes, how would I react? And most probably I would react the same way. So when you approach a situation like this from this place of understanding, it becomes easier for you to react because you know there is a specific reason why that person is acting like that. So this will stop you from retorting or retaliating angrily, and you can always say, "I hear you. I understand you have a different perspective from me. So permit me to share my perspective as well if you're okay with that. I've heard you and now can I share my perspective?" So the moment you say that I hear you, I understand you're coming from a perspective, when you're agreeing with that that person can have a different perspective, will make that person calm down. And this could obviously lead to a more productive conversation. Empathy is always great and it always works. The second one is calm yourself down. When you are stuck in a situation and somebody is insulting you or provoking you and you want to react, do not react immediately. Take a few seconds, pause, take a deep breath. The moment you do that, your adrenaline comes down, your heartbeat comes down, and probably you are not going to react the way you really wanted to react immediately. That will help. And it's easier when you're writing an email or when you're interacting digitally because you're not in front of that person. So what I normally do is if I want to react to a mail and I'm not happy about that, I write out whatever I want to say verbatim. I write it out in the email, but it is sitting in my draft. I'm not sending that mail to that person. So when I go back and reread that email, obviously I'm going to change that because I'm not, again, like the moment you write the mail, you have vented out your frustration, you have vented out your feelings. So you become more calm. And when you go back and reread that mail, you certainly would want to change that and make it more professional, make it more diplomatic, and probably send it the right way. The third is, suppose you're not able to contain yourself at all and you really feel like reacting, walk away from that situation. Excuse yourself and say, "Hey, I really want to get on to another meeting. Can we connect on this again? I think we probably need more time to discuss this. I think it's not the right time. Can we have another conversation on this? I will send you an invite." Or if you're on the phone, you can say, "Hey, somebody's at the door. I want to get on to another call," or whatever excuse you want to give, and say, "I will call you back in some time." So you're excusing yourself and walking away from a potential heated argument. So it works well as well. And one more thing that will help you to practice, obviously, all these tips cannot happen overnight, right? You need to practice. And for you to practice and to motivate you to practice, it's always good to think about the repercussions. The moment you want to react, immediately think about, okay, if I say this, what's going to happen? And I'm sure it's not going to be positive, right? The moment you think of the serious repercussions that your reaction, angry reaction, could have, will stop you from reacting the way you want. Because at the end of the day, you have to work with that professional again. It's not going to be the last conversation you're going to have. You have to continue to work and work well with that person. right? And it's the same with in your personal relationships as well. So I guess when you practice this few tips, I'm sure it's going to help you next time when you want to react angrily. That will stop you from reacting and probably responding in the right appropriate way. Hope this have been some valuable inputs to you. Thank you so much for listening. Bye bye.